What's happening, family? This is Dr. Joseph L. Williams. I hope you're well and blessed. Let me see if I can get some light in here. There we go. Got a little bit of it. And I want to welcome you to the 40-Day Turn-Up. As you can see, I'm in the comfort of my own temporary home office. And we wanted to use technology to make it easier for you. I want to welcome you to the 40-Day Turn-Up, not just national, but global, because in this particular session, January 2019, we've got groups that are coming through this process from not just all over the state of Georgia, not just the country, but we've got groups overseas. So wherever you are, welcome. If you're watching this, you should be watching this from the comfort of your own group that you've already assembled. And what we've done is we've taken groups who've signed up their teams. And this isn't the opportunity for me and my team to take individuals through the process, but this is just to take groups that have already been established through the process. So in watching this, you should be watching this from the comfort of your own home. Cheers. Got some H2O. Now, before we begin, I want to tell you a little bit about me, because everyone watching this, you may not know who I am and what I do. Again, my name is Dr. Joseph L. Williams, and I'm going to be your personal life coach through this amazing 6-week official process, but really the process is going to be longer than that. I live in the greater city of Atlanta, the wonderful city of Atlanta, Georgia. I serve as a senior pastor of an amazing church, Salem Bible Church. It is one ministry in 2 locations, Atlanta and Lithonia. They're about 22 miles away from each other. And health and wellness has been a journey that I've taken myself. More than 10 years ago, I was 330 pounds. I got, just like many of you and many Americans and people around the globe, I just got sick of things working until it didn't work. I decided to educate myself in nutrition. I decided to continue my education and becoming a holistic practitioner. And I applied those tenets to my own life. And it changed my life. Lord only knows how much it elongated my life, the life of my wife, my family, and hundreds and now really thousands of people who come through one of the many programs that the Lord has blessed us to put forward. We've done things called The Journey, the 40-Day Turn-Up, Reset, Club 326, Come Fast With Me. It's a litany of different programs that have been initiated off of one journey, and that's my journey. And we thank God for the lives that have been connected. One of the things I'm most proud of is every person that I've helped and that my team has helped through this process. We don't charge. There's no fee. And although I've been approached by many people to say, why don't you monetize this? Why don't you do this or that? I just can't. I just think it's ministry. And I think for those of you who are coming through, you'll have the opportunity to sow a seed at the end. Those of you who want to, and that's how God has been able, or that's how this has been sustained. So I want you to know something about me. Now, what I'm about to do, I'm about to give you what we're calling the pre-orientation. Again, this is the pre-orientation. This is not the time for me to say, this is what you're going to eat. You're not going to eat this. You're not going to eat that. It's by design that the pre-orientation is not the orientation. This is an opportunity for me to introduce myself to you, for you to watch this from the comfort of your own groups, so you can get a good idea of what you've signed up to do. Many of you, I'm certain of individuals, you want to be certain that you can put your best foot forward. And this pre-orientation is going to let you know exactly what you need to know to say, you know what, I've signed up for the right program, or to say, this isn't for me for whatever the reason. So the whole purpose of this is to let you know what is expected of you, how this is laid out, what is going to be required of you. And then once we finish that, I'm going to get some, at the end, I'm going to give some step-by-steps that you and your group need to do in order to validate your seat through this process. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start. and you are going to follow along with me. I've got my presentation right here in front of me. Of course, you can't see it, but it's just an opportunity for me to have my notes to where I'm not lost and I don't speak any more than what I have to while still covering everything that I need to, okay? So the first thing that I want you to ask yourself is, why are you here? And if you want to take some time to pause this and go around the room for people to answer this question, then this is a good opportunity to do that. But when I say, why are you here, what are you looking to accomplish? Are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to become healthier? Are you looking to lower hypertension? Are you looking to reverse diabetes? Are you looking to be healthier? Are you looking for all of the above? Take some time to really ask yourself, why am I here? Because those who clearly know why they're here have an understanding of what their goal is. It's very impossible to hit a goal when you don't know what you're aiming at. So if you're at this moment, pause the video, go around the room to whoever the leader is, and please be certain that you share with one another why you're here, okay? And what you're looking to accomplish, okay? Now, for those of you who want more information about me and where this process started, visit formyjourney.com. That's www.formyjourney.com. You'll see there what the journey was, how this started, how I've taken thousands of people through this process throughout the country. All right, I want you to know and to understand that. It's amazing because when the journey started, it was broken into 3 different tenets: the mind, the body, and the spirit. How can I help people to emotionally detoxify? How can I help people to spiritually recalibrate? And how can I help people to physically know and learn how to eat? All right? And I took those 3 tenets, merged them together into what we call the journey. After I did that for about 3 years, I took the concept of what I did from a nutritional vantage point, extracted it from what I just explained to you, and put together what we're calling the 40-day turn-up, to where all I did was I focused on the teachable nutritional tenets from my experience and my certification as a nutritionist and as a holistic practitioner. So that's what the 40-day turn-up is. The 40-day turn-up is basically a branch that was inspired from the journey, but it gave us the opportunity to just focus in on nutrition. Okay, so you can see that on formyjourney.com. All right, the type of medicine that I practice and was trained in is called Ayurvedic medicine. Ayurveda is 2 different words, and it basically means the science of life or the knowledge of life. Ayurvedic medicine is an Indian-based medicine that was established more than 5,000 years ago. And it is a medicine that is truly holistic in every right. It teaches individuals how to eat according to the seasons, how to eat from the earth, or how to eat foods that God made, how to avoid processed foods, how to lower inflammation in the body, how to increase life in the body, how to understand foods and how they react once we not only eat them individualistically, but how we eat them when we put them on a plate, how to maximize digestion, all of these things. And what I love about Ayurvedic medicine is it is a type of medicine that can be applied to any person. I've got a 16-month-old child, Skylar, and I've got another child that's on the way. And the same tenets that I've learned and I've taught people, I've initiated with my own children. The doctors have been absolutely blown away to see how healthy she is. She never gets sick. She's had 1 fever. She hasn't been vaccinated. I've gotten a lot of pushback, and that's a whole different horse of a different color. But God has blessed me and blessed us. And one of the reasons why we're blessed is by understanding these ways of living. And they're the same ways that not only we exercise in our own household, but I'm going to share everything that I know with you so you can be healthy, so you can be happy, so you can take that information and not only apply it to yourself, but you've got children, you've got grandchildren, nieces and nephews. So that's what Ayurvedic medicine, and that's the type of medicine that I've been trained in. Okay? I want to start first by allowing you to understand what the focus of the 40-day turn-up. There are 4 different things that I want to focus in as it relates to you. One is weight loss. I want to help you lose weight. I've seen people literally lose 50 pounds. And of course, that's not typical, but I've seen it. I've seen people lose 50 pounds in 40 days, 48 pounds, 45, 40. I've seen women and men who were in their 70s and 80s lose 20 and 30 pounds, 35 pounds. I've seen people say, you know what, I've got a thyroid problem. They drop weight like that. I've seen people say, I've never been able to do anything else that worked, and they've lost weight. So number one, weight loss is the focus. Number two, hypertension is the focus. Hypertension is a silent killer. We're going to focus on that. Number three, reversing diabetes or improving pancreatic functioning, which is where insulin is secreted from. All right? And then I want to maximize Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. Take some time, read that text. And if you don't have time to read it, I'll read it for you. Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. I want you to listen because this is a focus. Genesis chapter 6, verse 3, it says, And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. I love this text, Genesis chapter 6, verse 3, because when it says, and he shall not live but 120 years, it gives capacity of human life on this planet. Now, if the Word of God is suggesting that God has given us a potential tenure of 120 years, why are we dying at 60, at 50 of massive heart attacks, 40s? Why is the average age of Americans in the mid-70s and even lower for African Americans? Why? It's a lot of life that we're leaving on the table. And one of the focal points is for me to teach you how to live so you can maximize your time on this planet. Now, why do I want you to maximize, and how is God going to bless me, and why has God blessed me? Think about it. If I can take my knowledge, my gifts, my talents in nutrition and living and share it with you and your family, and you live 10 years longer, 20 years longer, 30 years longer, that means you got 10, 20, 30 more years to fulfill the purpose that God has sent you. If I'm using my gifts, my talents, my skill set to edify you so you can do the will of God longer on this planet, what do you think God is going to do with me? God is going to bless me. I can't charge for that. I'm already blessed. And if I continue to do what God has placed on the inside of me to help you, and I don't even know you, it's okay. God's going to bless me. All we've got to do is do right with the gifts that we have to edify God's people. When people are edified, God is glorified. So that's what we're going to focus on. Weight loss, hypertension, reversing diabetes, maximizing Genesis chapter 6, verse 3. Okay? What's the structure? Point 2. Heretofore, we've had groups. We take groups, we put them together, which the smallest group that you can have in this process is a 10-person group. So every time we have 10 people, we make them a group. If you got 30 people in your entire group, that'll be 3 groups. Each of the 10-person groups, no matter how big or small, because some of you are churches, some of you are organizations, some of you are schools, and some of you are just 10 different individuals who've made up a group. It doesn't matter, but every 10 people has one leader. Every person will have one buddy, a partner. Every person will receive a manual explaining nutrition. Every group will weigh in together. You will record your blood pressure by your leader together. And you will be the recipient of classes that I teach you every single week. Okay? So that's the structure of it. And for the first time since the genesis of this particular process called the 40-day turn-up, you guys will execute what we're doing within your own groups. And we're going to oversee, because each group is going to be given a team coach from my team here in Atlanta. They're going to be talking with your point of contact, getting you all of the information with your point of contact, helping you answer questions. But each group is going to be autonomous, meaning you are going to govern yourselves, you're going to rule yourselves, you're going to do everything that needs to be done so your group is able to be successful. What we will do is to oversee you and to get you all of the information so you can be successful, okay? Now, what are some of the elements of the nutritional profile? Number one, we're going to start off with a 2-day detox. I've got a special blended detox that I've made. I've used this thousands of times. You'll take the detox, those of you who choose to order it, you'll get the detox, you'll mix it with distilled water, and I'll give you instructions on the exact type of water that you need to get. And for the first 2 days, you're going to do nothing but consume this detox. You're not going to eat anything. You're not going to chew anything. You're not going to do anything or consume any type of food in the first 2 days. Why do we do that? Because it's a lot easier to reset a person after a detox than saying we're going to start on Monday. You eat everything you want over the weekend and you start Monday morning and then by noon you've got the shakes. We're not doing that. The second element of the nutritional profile is we're going to remove all inflammatory foods. The impetus of all disease is inflammation. If we can remove the foods that are the causers of inflammation in the body, we're lowering the propensity of the body to be in a disease state. I've studied, I know clearly what inflammatory foods are. We're going to remove them. We're going to replace it with foods that are anti-inflammatory. Okay? We're going to remove all toxins, everything that's processed, everything that has chemicals in it. And all of the foods that you will be able to eat will be foods that you will be able to purchase anywhere around the country on whatever budget you have. You will be doing more work in terms of cooking and preparing your food, but guess what? I'm going to teach you and show you how to do all of it. For those of you saying, well, I can't eat my processed foods. No, you cannot eat your processed foods. And if you're not willing to get over the desire and the habit of eating processed foods, to understand that the processed foods is one of the major culprits of what's killing us, then this process is not for you. Again, you will notice that I keep using the word process and not program. Why is he saying that? Because a program is something that starts and ends, but a process is something that is ongoing. I'm trying to teach you different tools and tenets to where you understand this is not just something that you will do for 6 weeks, but these are principles that you will use to relive your life in a way that edifies you for the rest of your days. Okay? The next tenet of the nutritional profile is we'll be eating small meals every 3 hours. Okay? So number one, 2-day detox. Removal of inflammatory foods. We'll be consuming anti-inflammatory foods. Small meals every 3 hours. Those are the elements of the nutritional profile. All right. Now let's talk about the next point, time requirements. What will be required of you each and every week? Number one, you have to commit to coming into your group once per week. Okay. We recommend on Saturdays to do 3 things. Number one, to weigh in. Every group is going to be asked to get its own scale. We're going to tell your leader, you don't have to worry about that now because leaders will have their own orientation. Don't worry about that. I'm just trying to get with the participants so you can say, hey, this is for me or it's not. Every week you're going to go in, you're going to weigh in. Your leader is going to weigh you in, record your weight. Your leader is going to take your blood pressure, record your blood pressure. You're going to watch the weekly instructional videos that I am going to teach you myself. Each of the videos will be no longer than about 40 to 45 minutes. So each and every week, you have to be able to meet with your group, be weighed in, take your blood pressure, watch the video. That's probably about a 90-minute sacrifice that you have to make each and every week. If you know right now that you cannot do that, or won't do it, or won't make the adjustment to do it, this is not the process for you. Again, this is pre-orientation. I'm just trying to give you an overview of what's to be expected. Okay? What are the requirements for graduation? Yes, we have a huge graduation. You're going to be invited to the city of Atlanta to come down here, and we're going to celebrate you, and we're going to be so excited. People are going to be coming from all over the country. But you must, if you want to be the boss, you got to pay the cost. And there are two requirements to graduating. Number one, every person who graduates must lose 10 pounds or more. That's number one. Number two, you must be an active participant in your group. Why are you making me come to my group? Why do I have to do all of this? Because being in a small group provides several things. Number one, it provides you support from your leader, support from your buddy, support from your other peer group members, support from me. It provides healthy competition, accountability, networking. Those are 7 things that are going to help you make your goals and reach your goals that most people don't have when you're trying to lose weight by yourself. I've done this with thousands of people. And this is a one-off, meaning that there's no other process or program in the world that exists like this, because God gave this to me and my team. And I get better and better at it each and every year. And this is going to be no different. Okay? Right along. Okay? Now, at this moment, what I want to do is I want to go over a couple of things that you need to understand. This is critical information. Now, at this moment, you should have a clear understanding and say, you know what? I can do this. You know, I know I can meet with my group each week to be weighed in, to get my blood pressure taken, to watch the instructional videos that Dr. Joe has for me and my group. I can do it. Think about it. One time a week. All the other times in the week, you can do all of your stuff remotely. We're going to have closed Facebook groups for each of the groups to where you all will be able to talk with each other. It's free. I'm going to show you how to do all of that. Don't worry about that now. All I want you to say right now is, this is something I can do, this is something I can't do. Now, let me tell you what needs to happen, and this is important information for either you or for your group. And I want you to understand this, because if you don't follow instructions in what I'm about to tell you, then you will not have a place at the table, okay? Now, there are a couple things that you need to do. Number one, you need to mark your calendar for key dates. The first key date is going to be January the 26th for our virtual expo. The virtual expo is important because what we do is, at our church, we take the whole church, we lay it out with all types of foods, sample meals, things that you'll need to get, supplies that may help you, different ideas to package your food and recipes. We're going to take our cameras, we're going to videotape each of them, we're going to record it, we're going to give all of this information and make this experience virtual so you guys will be able to experience it. That's January the 26th at 11 a.m. For those of you who are local, you'll be able to come to Atlanta to do that. For those of you who are not local, don't worry, we'll just bring it to you. That's January the 26th. Okay? During that time, you will be afforded the opportunity to taste, to order your detox. You'll have an initial weigh-in, which is mandatory, and get vital information that is needed for your process. The next important date is going to be February 11th, which is going to be the official start date. And March the 24th is our graduation at 3 p.m. Now, many of you are saying, well, okay, I know the expo is the 26th. So what's going to happen between today, January the 5th, and January the 26th? Several things will be happening. The first thing is you need to tell your group leader, I want to be a part of this or I don't. To all of my group leaders, you need to take your final list that you have and you need to get them to our administrator based on the specific information that she is to tell you. If you're a participant, don't email us, don't call us. That's not your job. Just each group leader, you are to get that information to the person that you are told to get it to. This gives us time and gives you time to confirm your list, to get us the final names so we'll know how many people we're dealing with. The second thing that's going to happen is you group leaders are going to have an important orientation with me and my team at a set time. And the reason why I'm not saying what that set time is now is to the participants who are watching this, you don't have to worry about being a part of that orientation. That orientation is just for the leaders of each of the groups. That's very, very important. Okay? Now, important dates for leaders. Mark your calendar for January the 19th at 11 a.m. for leadership training. That's when you will have your leadership training. Our journey administrator will send you the group coach and an invite to our video conference. You will be able to join via your phone or computer. You will also have the option to join by dialing in as well. This training will be no longer than 1 hour. During that time, I will give you important information on handling your group and how the sessions will actively function. So let's take all of this great information, okay, and add one more thing about it. If you are in excess of 300 pounds, please have your captain contact our administrator so we can provide for you specifics during your session. All right. You will need to sign a limited liability waiver for this session for all of you. I'm asking you to go to your doctors because you're going to have to sign off a health waiver to where my group, my church, anything that I represent is not held responsible for decisions that you make. And I'm sure you can understand that. Those of you who have different medical concerns, issues, medications that you may be on, you're going to have to talk and consult with your own medical doctor in order to do what is best for you. So let's review. Number one, if you're a participant, you need to make up your mind and a decision by what I've shared with you to say, you know what, this is for me. I'm ready to rock and roll. Tell your leader of your group so they can officially add you to the official roster. Number two, participants, mark your calendar. January the 26th for our expo at 11 a.m. That'll be here in Atlanta. If you're in Mississippi or Florida or California or in Europe or wherever you may be and you're not in the Atlanta area, don't worry about it because instead of you coming here, we're going to take the expo and bring it to you. Okay? That's very, very important. To all of my leaders, I want you to understand that on January the 19th at 11 a.m., you'll have your leadership training with me. It'll be no longer than 1 hour. February the 11th is going to be our kickoff date. March 24th is going to be our graduation. So I hope this pre-orientation, I want to do it in less than 30 minutes. I'm just about there. And if it has served you to know that you can make up a decision in your mind right now that this is something you're going to do or not, then my job has been done. I've given you important dates, times, information. You have everything you need. I love each of you. I look forward to seeing you guys who will be in the process. Leaders, be certain that you follow the instructions of our journey administrator so we can get all these groups confirmed, get a coach assigned to you because that's when that will happen. Get you all the important dates and times, information that you'll need. You'll be seeing the orientation, the official orientation. You'll be getting your leadership manual once all the groups are finalized. When the group leader finalizes your group, that's when we're going to get you the leadership manual, the participants manual for you to read, as well as the orientational video for you to watch in your group. So nothing else is going to come until we get that. Love each of you. Be well and be blessed. And we'll see you soon. Peace. Happy New Year.